Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Dark Halo 2012 coming to you from the Prophecy of the Five, and today I'll be bringing you some innovative Ordnance gameplay on my Mercenary Blurred. Now this video is kind of short, however I chose it for two reasons. First off, it's not face roll for either team, and second, it helps to enunciate some of the flaws that I continually have in this game. Now I'll never post a game that is completely dominated by one side or the other, because it doesn't really give SWTOR PvP any kind of real justice. Now I've been playing this game since early access, but I'll never say that I am good at any class. I'll say I'm familiar with it, and I don't believe arrogance really has any place when it comes to trying to help others, especially when you're still working on things yourself. Now, when you look at the team composition of this game, one would think that we really wouldn't have much of a chance of winning. The opposing team is consisting of a tank, a healer, and 2 DPS. And our team on the opposite side of the coin is composed of 4 DPS, 2 of which are mercenaries. Then we have a marauder and an operative. Now, none of those classes would be considered overpowered, especially when it comes to ranked arenas. But when played properly or somewhat well, during a regular war zone, they do have their chance to shine. Now during the first part of this match I'm kind of zoned out a little bit, so I do apologize for that. However, I think that's something we all go through. This is within my first 4 or 5 games of the day. I'm not really focused or concentrated. I'm just kind of trying to get into the groove. Which is alright, because I'm not looking for that perfect game to post that just makes me look like a complete badass, because I'm not. Now, I'm kind of new to innovative Ordnance. I've only been playing it for about the last month or so. Up to that point, in the last 2.5 years that I've been playing on this mercenary, I've been playing Arsenal spec. I've dabbled with healing, but I'm not really a big fan of healers. At least not when I'm the one doing it. Now, I still have a lot to work out when it comes to innovative Ordnance, but I will say that I think I enjoy it quite a bit more than Arsenal, simply because it has a slightly more complicated rotation. People say that innovative Ordnance doesn't have a lot of burst, but there's been a lot of times I've been really surprised at the burst. I mean, if you put a thermal detonator on somebody, you have your incendiary missile on them, then you do the combination of mag shot, power shot, mag shot. That's a lot of burst in a short amount of time. Plus the dot spread mechanic helps you when, as a mercenary, you're going to be running around a lot, just trying to avoid damage. Which, again, is something I don't really do well in this game. I should be moving a lot more, and in some instances I actually move into the damage. Yeah, the dots kind of help you just keep up the damage even when you're not able to actually stay on somebody. The opposing team kind of made a mistake the first round of this match, in that the assassin on the other team was a little overzealous. He got separated from his team and snuck over into our group. I don't know whether he just didn't have blackout on or what when he was over there, but we picked him off pretty easily. And as soon as I was able to, I put my electronet on him. When an assassin doesn't have his defensive cooldowns up, they drop just as easily as a sorcerer does. That helped us win this first round here, simply because we got one of their DPS out of the way. And then that gave us a lot more room to breathe, because they only really had 1 DPS on their team. The healer and tank aren't really a threat in that regard, so if you can get rid of a DPS quickly, it's always a good thing when it comes to these matches. Now, the second round of this match, we kind of foobarred a little bit. We tried to focus the healer, and just the healer. Which, if a healer has a guard, it's really kind of pointless just to attack the healer, simply because they're going to be able to mitigate half that damage from the tank, and then the other half is really easy for them to heal through. Now the best policy, which we end up doing in the third round, is to split DPS on the tank and healer, and that makes the healer work harder and the tank isn't as effective that way. But because we didn't do that in the second round, we tried to focus the healer and it didn't go well for us. Now the third round of the match went much smoother for us in that we focused down the tank and healer at the same time, and once we got rid of the tank, the healer became much easier to target. Now we hit the healer and a DPS at the same time at that point, which makes it hard for the healer to actually focus on healing anyone in particular. Once we get the healer in a pattern of running around, it makes our lives easier. Now if you ask me what I think this class needs, I honestly wouldn't think that it really needs much to be viable. Now, they are giving Arsenal Spec the 5 stacks of Absorb on the Chafe Flare, which is an amazing addition. My only complaint about that is that I wish they give it to Innovative Ordnance as well. The deficiency of defensive cooldowns is a class-wide disadvantage, not just a spec. Now, kind of the reason why I'm starting to post these videos is not because I think I'm excellent, it's because I just think there's a lack of SWTOR related content out there right now. Ever since summer of 2012, the community has kind of dropped off a little bit, especially in regards to actually getting the free press out there for places like YouTube and stuff like that. This is truly an amazing game, and I wish more people would get behind it. Now, I encourage others to actually post their content up there. I'm not even saying I'm good at posting content, but, you know, at least it's something. I enjoy the game and I want to share that. And maybe in the process I can help others out. Now, I've always been pretty PvP focused when it comes to this game. The first year or so I actually did take the time to get into all the raids, but I think after TFB hard mode I just kind of switched over to PvP and focused on nothing but that. It really does kill me that there's not more SWTOR PvP content going out there. It gets kind of stale playing the same maps over and over again, and after a while you start dropping off players, just like you can see on Prophecy of the Five and some of the other PvP servers. Queue times are going up even for regular war zones. And then of course you have the issues in the mid bracket that kind of draw people away from war zones because they just don't want to get completely slaughtered when they go in, if they're not level 55 and above. But I'm sure these issues will be worked out over time. I'm not going to give up on BioWare. I have a feeling they'll throw us a bone here in the near future, but I do understand that this game will always probably be a PvE focused game. Well, anyway guys, I know this isn't the longest video or probably the best commentary or anything you've seen. However, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be posting some more videos in the future. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day.